You know, sometimes one season is all it takes to become a legend, a hero. For Stefon Diggs and the New England Patriots, 2025 was supposed to be the start of something really special. I mean, it felt like a perfect match, a dominant force for years to come. So when the season ended, this is the message he puts out. Thank you for a hell of a year. We family forever. It sounds like a guy who's totally ready to run it back, right? A leader celebrating with his team. But what nobody knew at the time, this wasn't a see you later. Nope, this was goodbye.
Okay, so to really grasp the shock of what happened next, you've got to understand just how incredible that hell of a year actually was. I mean, we're not just talking good, we're talking historic.
In just one season, Diggs basically became the soul of the Patriots offense. He wasn't just some other guy on the team. He was the guy, the one everyone looked to in the huddle. And, you know, when the ball was in the air, he was their most reliable and most explosive weapon. Not even close. Okay, get this. 82.5%. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how often Stefon Diggs caught the ball when it was thrown his way last season. Now think about that. For a receiver who is always the defense's main focus, that kind of reliability, it isn't just elite, it's practically unheard of. And hey, to put that into perspective, just look at this. In the last decade, only one receiver with that many targets had a better catch rate. We're talking about him being in the same conversation as prime Michael Thomas. Statistically, throwing the ball to Stefon Diggs was one of the safest, most productive plays in the entire league. A sure thing. So, let's recap, right? He was a leader. He was historically efficient. He was, by far, the team's best receiver. And then everything changed, just like that. And then, bam, the news drops. After a Super Bowl run that was pretty much fueled by their star receiver, the Patriots were just letting him go. And look, this move didn't just send shockwaves through the league. It left fans, analysts, pretty much everyone completely scratching their heads. So it all boils down to this one huge, unavoidable question. Why? Why on earth would a team cut its best offensive player right after a season like that? Well, the answer? It's complicated. It turns out this whole decision was really driven by a mix of three core things. A massive salary spike, a looming contract guarantee, and, well, a pretty serious off-the-field issue. Okay, so first and foremost, you gotta follow the money. This was a business decision. Diggs' salary cap hit was about to absolutely explode. We're talking from a pretty manageable $10.5 million all the way up to a massive $26.5 million. An increase that big doesn't just cost the team money, it literally changes how you can build the rest of your roster. So that salary jump was the big problem, right? But it was made so much worse by two ticking clocks. First, you had this contract deadline. If he was still on the roster just a few more days, another $6 million of his salary became guaranteed. No going back. And second, there was a legal deadline. Diggs is facing felony strangulation charges with a hearing set for April 1st. So you've got this massive cost, the looming guarantee, and the serious legal risk. It really was a perfect storm of pressure that basically forced the Patriots' hand. So the Patriots made their choice. They saved the cash and they avoided the risk. But in doing so, they blew a massive hole in the side of their offense. And that leaves us with one giant problem, right? Who is quarterback Drake Maye gonna throw the ball to? I mean, come on. You can't just remove a talent like Stefon Diggs from the equation and pretend the offense is gonna be fine. You've created a massive void. And this is what's left. I mean, you've got Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte, Pop Douglas, and look, these are all solid NFL players. But is there a proven #1 game-changing receiver in that group? No. The gap between what they had with Diggs and what they have now is, well, it's a canyon. Heck, even the team's own head coach, Mike Vrabel, basically admits that guys like Diggs are nearly impossible to just go out and replace. He says true #1 receivers, they're not just sitting around in free agency. You have to try and draft them. And so it all comes down to this. The Patriots have the 31st pick in the upcoming draft. After letting a certified superstar just walk out the door, their entire offensive strategy now hangs on one massive gamble. Can you really replace a sure thing with a long shot?